What's up, my people? This is Samson of KO Punch, and today I'm coming to you with another one with regards to Conor Benn versus Eubank Sr. The fight that every fight fan was waiting so much for, which unfortunately got cancelled. Conor Benn is receiving a lot of bashing on social media on all platforms, same as Eddie Hearn. Unfortunately, I have a very different opinion when it comes to everything that is happening. So the fight between Eubank Jr., who is 33 years old, 34 fights in total, 32 wins, 2 losses. He suffered a loss to George Groves and then Billy Joe Saunders. And he has 23 out of his 34 fights by way of knockout. So he holds about 67% knockout ratio. He was scheduled to fight Conor Benn on the 8th of October. Conor Benn is 26 years old. He has 21 fights, 21 wins, and 14 of those wins by way of knockout. By the way, there's a fight that Conor Benn was given the decision, in which I personally disagree. I felt like he didn't really win that fight. That fight could have gone either way. To me, a draw in that fight would have been a fair outcome from what I saw in those 12 rounds. Conor Benn was actually knocked down in that fight and he was wobbled a number of times, but he came back strong and also got a knockdown of his own, so that was impressive. But we are not here to talk about that today. We are here to talk about his failed drug test and the bashing and the insults that he's receiving on social media. I understand perfectly that every fight fan is probably angry, and that is understandable because this was a highly anticipated fight. Every fight fan was waiting so much for this showdown. Part of it is because of the history between their fathers. You know what I mean? Like Nigel Benn and Chris's father, Eubank Sr. They had 2 fights in the 90s. The first fight was won by Sr. by knockout, and then the second fight was ruled as a draw. Also, in a fight which I believe a draw was a fair result because it went back and forth, and none of them was willing to really take any risk in that fight. So, I mean, a draw was a fair result. It's unfortunate that this fight was cancelled because everybody was looking up to it. I was particularly impressed by the way Eubank Jr. was able to sell the fight. I mean, he made a t-shirt with 60% in front of it. We saw him on YouTube and other platforms eating and having fun, playing poker, enjoying his birthday. Like, he made everybody understand that it was going to be an easy night of work for him. He mentioned that he was going to teach Conor Benn a lot of lessons, which everybody was waiting to see what was going to happen. Conor Benn was extremely confident going into that fight, and I know people have mentioned that he was probably confident because he knew that he was on some drugs, and there was no way that Chris was going to win that fight. The reason why I am saying that we shouldn't jump into conclusions yet is because of previous history. Billy Joe Saunders in the past tested positive for banned substances. We know about that. Eventually, I think he got cleared. I'm not too sure about that one. But the one that I'm extremely sure about is Dillian Whyte. The same thing happened with Dillian Whyte. Everybody talked shit about him, they crucified him, and in the end, after all the investigations, he was cleared to fight. It was understood that he had done nothing wrong. So why are we all of a sudden jumping into conclusion when it comes to Conor Benn? I mean, I'm not a fan of Conor Benn. I actually love Chris Eubank Jr. I wanted Eubank Jr. to win this one, and I felt like he had the advantages and he was going to win. He has the experience. People think that Conor Benn is very explosive, but I felt like Chris Eubank Jr. is more explosive than Conor Benn. Ever since he started working with Roy Jones Jr., he has slowed down a bit, and defensively he has improved, and like he has added a lot of tools to his armory, which is great, which is why you don't see him explode and go wild like he used to before, right? Which is a great sign. Fight comfortably, just like he also felt like he was going to win. He didn't need to be 100% to beat to beat Conor Benn in that fight. This is my personal opinion, okay? We do not crucify a man. It is known all over the world. You only crucify a man and put him in jail after he has been proven guilty beyond all reasonable doubts. Now, my understanding is that this issue is still under investigation. So why are we nailing this guy so hard, right? Like, we know we have to wait. Like, in my opinion, we have to wait and see all the evidence, and then finally we can come out and request an apology from him. Or, in my opinion, he should be banned for a number of years, because we don't love cheating in the sport. It's a very dangerous sport. We don't want anybody getting hurt or somebody getting killed in the ring. So, I mean, it makes perfect sense that people will come in not on drugs, right? Because already it's dangerous enough. So if you add drugs to it, it makes it even worse. That being said, I listened to Eddie in an interview, and I feel bad for the man. I mean, people are bashing him so much, and listen, blaming Eddie in this situation I don't think is right, and I think it is right for anybody to blame him, because people are making it seem as if he was trying to sweep this one under the carpet and not let anybody know what was going on. But from my understanding, every primary stakeholder in the fight, everybody who was close enough, like the father of Chris Eubank Jr., Chris Eubank Jr.'s promotional team, and Eddie Hearn, and all the other primary stakeholders in the fight, they were informed about this failed drug test like weeks ago. They knew about this weeks ago, but the promotional team, Conor's team, Eddie Hearn, and the commission, they decided not to let the news out yet, because they were still trying to do their own private investigations to find out the actual truth, right? This is why they decided to keep it. And that is what they do in real life. If an issue is being investigated, they tell the parties involved not to go out there and tell the public about what is happening, because we don't want rumors lingering here and there, right? So it makes perfect sense that you and I didn't know, because you and I are not primary stakeholders. Even though we are fight fans, people bought tickets, people booked hotels and stuff like that, but the actual people that are involved in the fight making, they were informed, they were aware. Like Chris Eubank Jr. was aware weeks ago that Conor has failed the drug test. So is everybody else who is a primary stakeholder in a fight. And so blaming Eddie Hearn and making it look as if he was trying to sweep this one under the carpet and not let anybody know what was going on, I mean, that was. And listen, this promotion thing, it involves a lot of business. A lot of money goes into that, booking the venue and like all the contracts that needs to be signed, and like all of that it takes a lot of money. So if it were you or if it was me in charge of the promotion, I would do everything to try and make sure that the fight happens, which is exactly what Eddie was trying to do. Eddie Hearn was trying to make sure that regardless of the test, which somehow was wrong, but I mean, he was confident. He was telling us that the fight was going to go ahead based on the information that he was getting from probably the commission, or based on how things were unfolding, right? I think that he made his decision and said the things that he said, that the fight was going to go ahead based on that information. So bashing him so much, I mean, let's not kick people when they are down. Because what if we wake up tomorrow and we hear something new, that Conor Benn wasn't really under the influence of anything? We've heard in the past that Tyson Fury and all these big fighters that we know about have failed drug tests in the past, right? They are still here. I am not encouraging that people use drugs in boxing, but all I'm saying is that everybody deserves a fair hearing when issues like this come up. So we should allow them some time to look into the issue and then come back to us and tell us whether Conor actually tried to cheat in this fight, which by then I will also come out and then join the team of people that are lambasting him at the moment. So that is all I have to say for now with regards to the Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. situation. My hope is that this whole issue will be resolved and the fight can still go on if it is possible, because it's a fight that I really would love to see. Thank you so much, guys, and that is all for today. Catch you another time. Please subscribe to my channel, KO Punch, on YouTube. Cheers. Bye.